Before dawn breaks, the small village of Kunu lies wrapped in the gentle cloak of early morning mist. The familiar sounds of chirping birds and rustling leaves fill the air, yet there is an unspoken stillness, an anticipation that something profound is about to unfold. Down a winding dirt road, a black SUV moves slowly, hugging the curves of the South African landscape. Inside, Barack Obama sits quietly, his eyes fixed on the horizon. No cameras, no crowds, only the soft hum of the engine and the weight of history pressing gently against the windows. This is not a public visit. It is a pilgrimage, a moment meant for reflection, respect, and connection. As the vehicle arrives at the gates of Mandela's homestead, guarded by stoic caretakers, Obama steps out into the cool morning air. The grass beneath his feet is dew-soaked, the soil rich and alive, as if the land itself breathes with the spirit of Madiba. His gaze lingers on the simple pathways that lead toward the resting place of a man who transformed a nation, a continent, a world. Obama walks slowly, deliberately, his footsteps muffled by the earth. The grave comes into view, a humble stone marker, framed by wildflowers and the quiet embrace of trees. There are no grand monuments here, no crowds shouting praises, just the serenity of a final resting place that reflects Mandela's humility and dignity. He pauses before the grave, lowering his head in silent reverence. The breeze brushes against his face, carrying whispers of stories, of struggle, sacrifice, and triumph. In this moment, all titles fade away. There is no former president, no public figure, just a man standing before the legacy of another man's life. His eyes close briefly. Memories flood his mind. The first time they met, the conversations about justice and hope, the lessons that shaped his own journey. Time slows. The world outside ceases to exist. Here, in this quiet, sacred space, a dialogue happens without words. A conversation between two souls committed to the cause of freedom. From the breast pocket of his jacket, Obama carefully removes a folded letter, worn but cherished. It is a gift from Mandela, handed over during a private encounter years before, filled with handwritten wisdom and encouragement. Unfolding the paper, he reads silently. Leadership is not about power, but about service. And service requires sacrifice. His finger traces the fading ink, connecting past and present. The words are simple, yet profound, an eternal reminder of what true leadership demands. But today, the letter carries a heavier weight. It is a symbol of promises yet to be fulfilled, of hopes still fragile in a world rife with division. Obama's gaze lifts from the letter, scanning the horizon once more. The mountains seem to echo the call for perseverance and humility that Mandela lived by. In his hand, the letter is not just paper. It is a bridge between generations, a silent vow to carry the torch forward, even when the path is steep and uncertain. Unknown to Obama and his small entourage, concealed within the thick foliage nearby, a camera lens silently records every moment. This device, placed without fanfare or announcement, captures the solemnity of the visit, the stillness of the air, the reverence in Obama's posture, the way he moves with a quiet grace rarely seen in public. No words are spoken as he kneels beside Mandela's grave, the weight of history pressing down like a tangible force. Then, carefully, Obama unwraps a small bundle from his coat, a gesture so subtle it might have gone unnoticed, if not for the unseen eye recording it all. This moment, raw and unfiltered, will later ripple through the world, sparking conversation far beyond this secluded place. The camera captures the vulnerability of a leader stripped of pretense, a man humbled by the enormity of the legacy before him. The small bundle reveals itself to be an olive branch, entwined delicately with strands of traditional South African beadwork, colors vibrant and alive, telling stories of resilience and unity. The olive branch, a symbol as old as time, speaks quietly but powerfully of peace, reconciliation, and hope. The beadwork, woven by hands that understand both struggle and triumph, reminds the world of the deep roots Mandela nurtured. Obama places the branch gently on the grave, as if entrusting this living symbol to the soil itself. In this simple act, he bridges continents and histories, reminding all who witness it that peace is not given, but earned. It is fragile, requiring constant care, humility, and courage. Through this gesture, the legacy of Madiba pulses anew, alive, breathing, and calling for a world still too often divided. Rising slowly, Obama allows himself a final, lingering look at the grave. His eyes reflect a storm of emotions: respect, sorrow, hope, and a deep resolve. He whispers a vow to the wind, words meant only for the earth and the spirit resting beneath his feet. No cameras capture this pledge, no audience hears this moment. It is a promise made in the purest form, a commitment to carry forward Mandela's vision of justice, equality, and humanity. As the wind stirs the leaves, it seems to carry the weight of that promise across the hills of Kunu, whispering to all who listen that the work is far from done. For Obama, this secret pilgrimage is not just remembrance, it is a rekindling of purpose, a call to action that echoes silently but powerfully across the corridors of power and the hearts of people worldwide. Days after the visit, the world awakens to an unexpected revelation. The footage of Obama's secret pilgrimage to Mandela's grave has surfaced, quiet, unguarded, profoundly human. Newsrooms buzz with whispered excitement. Social media erupts in a storm of emotion as millions watch the video of a former president kneeling in silence, placing an olive branch wrapped in South African beadwork. Commentators debate endlessly, some praising the humility and symbolism of the act, others questioning the timing and implications. Yet, beneath the headlines and hashtags, a deeper conversation begins to take root. Across continents, from the bustling streets of Johannesburg to the quiet cafes of Chicago, people reflect on what leadership truly means. The simple, sacred gesture reminds the world that the legacy of Mandela is not just history, but a living, breathing challenge to each generation. In that moment, the world sees not just a former leader, but a man reconnecting with the spirit of hope amid turbulent times. In halls of power and classrooms alike, Mandela's legacy is re-examined with renewed urgency. Politicians debate how far the nation has come and how far it still must go. Academics pore over the symbolism of the olive branch, connecting it to histories of peace movements and reconciliation worldwide. Activists rally around the image, invoking Mandela's name as a call to action, a reminder that the fight for equality is ongoing. In living rooms, families watch the footage, sharing stories of struggle and resilience passed down through generations. The visit becomes a catalyst, a spark igniting conversations about justice, sacrifice, and the responsibilities we bear to one another. Mandela's quiet resting place has, once again, become a beacon, drawing the world's attention back to the ideals he fought for, the dreams yet to be realized. And amid this chorus of voices, one truth becomes clear. Peace is never a destination, but a journey, an endless collective effort. Back in the solitude of his residence, far from the public eye and the endless noise of headlines, Barack Obama sits alone, the weight of the day settling around him like a quiet fog. He holds Mandela's letter once more, tracing the words with a trembling finger, the same words that guided him through some of his darkest and most challenging moments. The secret visit was more than a gesture, it was a reckoning, a reminder that leadership transcends policy and power. It is about humility, about carrying the burdens of history with grace and courage. Obama's thoughts wander to the future, a world still fractured, still grappling with the legacies of injustice and division. He knows the image of the olive branch will live on in public memory, but the true work is far from over. In this quiet moment, he writes in his journal, a private vow inked with resolve, to honor Madiba's vision not just in grand speeches, but in the everyday struggles for justice and peace. A legacy renewed, not by words alone, but by continuous, unseen acts of service. As the sun sets over the hills of Kunu, a gentle breeze stirs the olive branch resting beside Mandela's grave. The world may have seen a single act of respect, but what remains is an enduring symbol of hope, fragile, yet unyielding. Obama departs quietly, leaving behind a message far greater than the visit itself, that the journey toward equality, reconciliation, and peace is ongoing, relentless, and demands each of us to carry the torch forward. In this secret pilgrimage, two giants connected across time, one resting, one still walking the path, reminding humanity that true leadership is measured not by fame or power, but by the courage to serve and the willingness to hope. And so, the story continues, woven through the hearts of those inspired to act, to heal, and to believe in a better tomorrow. For Mandela's legacy is not confined to stone or memory. It lives in the quiet promise of every new day.